February 28, 2025. This is your host, Samuel B. Williams, for Equal Ground Headlines. Political developments. Domestic politics are in flux. Germany may be headed for a new governing coalition. The leaders of Germany's two biggest parties, the center-right conservatives, DU, CSU, and the center-left Social Democrats, SPD, have agreed to begin exploratory talks on forming a government together. This unusual grand coalition discussion comes after months of political stalemate. It suggests Chancellor Olaf Scholz, SPD, currently governing with the Greens and Liberals, is exploring a broader alliance, perhaps due to instability or electoral setbacks. Any such deal is far from certain, and would likely require difficult compromises on economic policy and climate goals. Elsewhere, Spain's new leftist coalition under Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez marked 100 days in office and is pushing ahead with controversial judicial reforms, while in Eastern Europe, Romania's government faces street protests over budget cuts ahead of an election later this year. Economic trends. The European economy is sending mixed signals. On one hand, fears of a US trade war and a slowing American economy have spilled into European markets. Major EU stock indices slid about 1% yesterday amid worries over Trump's tariff threats and their impact on exporters. Export-heavy sectors in Germany and France were particularly hit. On the other hand, some economic indicators are surprisingly upbeat. In the UK, though no longer in the EU, house prices rose 0.4% in February from January, according to nationwide data showing resilience in the property market. In the Eurozone, inflation has been gradually easing from its 2022 highs, and the European Central Bank is expected to hold interest rates steady if that trend continues. Energy prices in Europe have stabilized this winter, thanks to high gas storage levels and mild weather, a stark difference from the crisis of the previous winter. This has given consumers and industries a breather, though energy security remains a long-term concern as the war in Ukraine continues. Social and other news. Pope Francis' health has been an object of global concern. The 88-year-old pontiff has been hospitalized in Rome for 2 weeks, battling a severe case of double pneumonia. The Vatican reports that Pope Francis spent another peaceful night and is in stable condition. He is alert and has been responding to treatments, church officials say. Doctors hope the Pope can be well enough to resume limited duties in the coming weeks. But they are monitoring him closely given his age and the illness severity. Get-well prayers have poured in from around the world, and the Vatican has begun contingency planning for upcoming Holy Week events, should Francis still be recuperating. Meanwhile, in Greece, citizens marked a somber anniversary. It's been 2 years since Greece's deadliest train disaster. Nationwide strikes and protests took place to honor the 2023 Tempe rail crash victims and to demand overdue safety upgrades. The demonstrations underscore ongoing public anger at infrastructure neglect. And in France, hundreds of thousands again took to the streets in rolling protests, this time not over pensions, but over police brutality and a controversial law enforcement bill. The unrest is a reminder of Europe's social pressures, despite relative economic calm.